Welcome to Street Talk. I'm Loretta. Today, our special guest is a champion in our community. She's going to share with us wonderful community events and fundraisers that they have going on with the various organizations she's a part of. Stay tuned. You're watching here on Beam TV. Welcome back. It is a great show. We have Dr. Belinda Strickland. She is a champion in our community, and she's going to be sharing with us all the wonderful upcoming events that is taking place with the organization she's a part of. Thank you, servant leader.
Thank you so very much. I'm so glad to be here, and thank you again for having me back.
Absolutely.
It's always a pleasure to be here with you.
And I feel the same. It is always a joy, Dr. Strickland, and soon to be Attorney Strickland. I love that. I love the way that sounds.
It does. It sounds wonderful. Thank you.
Wow. Well, I am super excited about sharing with the community all the upcoming events and fundraisers that are taking place. First of all, we want to let them know why is this, all of this that we're about to talk about is so passionate for you and it's at the core of your heart. And that's why I call you a servant leader.
Well, thank you so much for saying that because, honestly, it really is inside of my heart. There's something that makes me feel so strong and so good inside when I know that I could do something for some group or a member in our community. And so I jumped out there a few years ago and started joining a couple of the different local community organizations that were nonprofit charitable types, and I fell in love. I mean, just to see the happiness and the joy of the things that we could do, just something about it, it's a blessing. It fills my heart with warmth, and I just want to go forward and spread more and do more, and I just get so excited, and just being here with you just makes it blossom even more.
And and I hope the community can feel that because that's what you exude, love, passionate in your heart. It's ever since I first met you and just the love in the community, what you do and how you serve, I felt that. And it is such a blessing to be able to share with more great things that you all are doing. We're going to get right into it. I want to talk about first one of the organizations you're a part of, and I want you to expound on a little more so the community can understand. Help us to know more about Russell County City Historical Commission.
Sure, absolutely. This one is actually very dear to my heart also. It's located on Highway 165. The actual commission meets here in Phoenix City, but there's so many different organizations that we protect and we serve towards. And one of them is the Indian Heritage Facility. It's a historical area on Fort Mitchell. And one of the big things that we do there is we promote to the community our history, the past of being here in Russell County, starting with the early Native Americans with the Creek Indian Nation and moving ourselves up to the pioneers and to the people who actually formed Russell County. And so for us, it's a big deal that we have a lot of different events that come out there that so many people don't realize that we have. We have, different holidays and festivals that occur, and actually we have one of our first ones coming up that you may have already seen the commercials for, and that is going to be on October the 23rd. That's the Fall Festival, and we'd like the community to come out. There's going to be food, and there's going to be vendors and crafts, but we have blacksmiths out there. You get to tour the big carriage house, which shows a lot of unique history in it, with all the different modes of transportation that we used here in Russell County throughout the years. There's also a gift shop, and there's going to be the big Indian Heritage Memorial, so you can actually go view it. And there's a huge fort in the back, too, so there's great places for kids to play. But when you're actually there, we have a museum on the inside. And the museum will actually have big slideshows and videos, so you can come in and actually see the history. We have a lot of guest speakers that come in from the community to share what's happened here in the past. So if you're a historian buff, this is a fun place to go to, and for the kids, there's so many activities. Just please, have people come by and stop and
so
see what
this
we
is
have.
in Phoenix City or Russell County
In
on
Russell County.
Highway 165.
That's right. It's right next to the actual, there's a National Military Cemetery,
Okay.
and we're right next to it. So it's almost across the street from the Senior Center on 165.
Okay, I know exactly where that is. So you happen to give us the landmarks. I love that. That's awesome. And I love the fact that your mission with Russell County City Historical Commission is to preserve and promote the history in Russell County.
That's exactly right.
Love it.
Absolutely.
I love it, and that's what you all are doing. Now, our volunteers are welcome to
Always.
be a part of this.
We would love to have volunteers, and actually Dell McClendon, she'd be the person you'd contact, and I could, give out the information. Her phone number, she said, is no problem. If you want to call or text her, it's 706-577-3327, and she'd be glad to take anybody who would like to volunteer, because they do have upcoming, they'll have Pioneer and Quilt Show in April, and then every second Sunday of the month they have a bluegrass jam out there, so that's kind of different.
Bluegrass jam.
They do, yes. And on the fourth Saturday in the morning, they always have a blacksmith out there, showing how we actually did things back in the the 1800s. How did we make horseshoes and turn metal? So he's there too.
Wow. And I love the fact you said Fall Festival, October 23rd.
That's right.
Is that free of charge for
Yeah.
the community?
Absolutely.
For admission?
Absolutely. There's no admission to anything.
Wow.
Everything's free. The museum, the carriage house. There's so many different areas that you could just drive in during open hours and enjoy, walk around, have a picnic. There's beautiful grassed areas. There's facilities there, so you can have a family reunion there.
I love it. And that is near the Fort Mitchell Cemetery.
That's right.
Okay. So to help the community with landmarks and that. Now, also, we're going to move on to another one, the Exchange Club of Phoenix City.
That's right.
So tell us about your role and a part of that as well.
Well, I am an actual member of the Exchange Club of Phoenix City, and it's, believe it or not, it's a national organization, and it is actually, we have our branch here, there's one in Columbus, there's one even in Puerto Rico, and we work together as a team. The local one, which is really unique, all of the money that we gather from the different fundraisers that we do go back to, again, promote the community, but mostly the youth in the community. One of the biggest events that we have is we'll do scholarships for the youth. So we'll take the 4 high schools in the area, and then we'll have a student of the quarter, and then at the end of the year, the 4 students of the quarter will then, compete to be student of the year, and then the high schools compete together, and at the end of the year, they'll actually have a scholarship for the first place student of the year, and then they'll have 3 runners-up, so those 3 runners-up will also get scholarships. So that's a lot. The fundraisers that we actually do through the Exchange Club have kind of slowed down due to COVID. Like, we used to do the big rodeo horse shows. Some of those have kind of slipped through a little bit until hopefully next year they come back. But so we do have, one of our biggest ones is the Sporting Clay on November the 6th.
Okay.
And that's another exciting event that's going on. And you can contact anyone at the Exchange Club. And I could also say that email address to speak to Jimmy.
Yes.
Its email is hhleasing@bellsouth.net. Now that is going to have flyers everywhere. They should be posting it everywhere.
Is there a location for that?
And they do have the location, and at this moment in time, I can't really finalize the exact spot.
Okay.
But
So you got to contact them at the Exchange Club.
That's
so
it.
You can get all of the details. I love that. I love it.
And it's so exciting because, we usually go ourselves to that one, and, Steve would go to that one too.
Yes.
And a lot of people in the community from actually Phoenix City and Columbus come to it. And you have lots of stations, and they actually shoot the little clays, the round clays that go up in the air, and you've got shotguns, and you're breaking them apart. It's pretty exciting, very loud.
Wow.
But a lot of people come. It's actually a really great social event.
And as I was looking at the information you sent and the flyers, you all are also with the Exchange Club of Phoenix City funding underprivileged children during the Christmas holiday season.
We certainly are. That one's called Operation Make Christmas Great. And it's another fundraiser in order for us to be able to get presents and other items for the holidays in order to give it to the families and the children who normally wouldn't have something as nice. So we try very hard with that. And we also work closely with the CAC, the Child Advocacy Center. And that's off of Highway 431. It's in the industrial park for Phoenix City. And Lynn Tucker Hammock is the director there. And so we try to gather a lot of money and do different donations for them also, because they're always in need, whether it's for, clothing or food or,
Beautiful.
yeah.
Now, I know people are watching and they're probably wanting to know, are donations accepted?
Always. At all of these organizations that we're talking about today, there's always an acceptance for donations, for clothes, for diapers, for so many different items, because everything is needed. So if you just contact each one of the individual organizations, then trust me, God willing, they're going to make that connection and get those things that we need in order to get out to the children in the community.
Absolutely. And always, when you bless others, it always comes back in various forms.
Absolutely.
That's what I love about it. And another one that is very popular with us here at the Beanie Station as well,
Right?
because, it is part of our family as well.
That's right.
Project Green Light. I love it. And I love the motto, until every child's home. Help the community to know a little bit more about Project Green Light, because they've seen it, but they really don't understand the service intent of it.
Exactly. And it's so funny that until you actually get involved into this program, you don't understand the differences that it really makes. It's very, very heartwarming. Right now we have Jessica Taylor. She's actually the president for Project Green Light out of our group. And I serve as the secretary on the board. And there's a lot of big community members here that are on the board of directors. And I've got to tell you, so if you yourself go out to the website, which is www.projectgreenlight.org, it'll explain a lot more. But some of the biggest things that we do is we provide a resource for children and families in the communities to get together. For example, there's an actual PGL, that's what we call it for short. There is a home up by the golf course up there
Phoenix City?
in Phoenix City, and it's actually almost across the street from the little police station up
And
there.
that's Lakewood
It is
Golf Course.
by the Lakewood Golf Course. Thank you very much. And that home is a 4-bedroom, multi-bathroom home that's been redesigned with individual spaces for whether it's for a study room, a play room, a meeting room, and even the kitchen is utilized. But it's so that the children that are in foster care, if they're living with their foster family, but they want to have time to visit with their actual parents, their birthright parents, then they meet there, because it's a neutral zone. Because so many times it's so hard for the pickup and drop-offs and meet, at one person's place or the other, or even out in town. So this beautiful home has been transformed into this healthy, safe environment to where they actually come in as a family. So the foster parents can bring them there, and then the birthright parents will stay. And even Jessica has come up with this idea about it's so important for them to be able to even cook for their kids. And that's why they have an active kitchen. Now, it's a little different with COVID. Things have kind of changed. They do keep everything sanitary. But so the families can meet, and then let's say the original mother can actually go into the kitchen and she can cook a meal. They can sit at the table together in a safe zone.
Safe zone. I love it.
That's it. It's wonderful. And the play areas and the playground, it's in a beautiful location, and it just feels so warm. And it's been a real positive thing for the community. And they also have a storage or pantry area in there to where they store like lots of diapers, again, pull-ups, food, baby wipes, all the necessities. So if there's some families that just don't have it, they can get it. And lots of clothes. That's the thing. So they provide clothing to children, and all these donations get stored in there and organized by the group. And I know Jessica Taylor's working very, very hard herself on site at the location.
She's such a blessing.
She really is. She's a great blessing.
Yes. And at some point, we're supposed to go over there and kind of highlight, things that the community can donate, and you just shared it, and so that you, the donators, can see how it benefits family, because it's something about seeing it.
That's the truth.
Seeing it in real time, it really connects with the people. And so I love it how you just demonstrated and explained to the community really where their contributions, their support is going, and how it's been a blessing in providing a safe zone for families. And that's what I love about it with you all, what you're doing with Project Green Light. You're serving families, family as a whole. It's so beautiful. Now, what are other ways the community can help with supporting you all with this project as well?
Okay, well, one of the things, if you actually do go to the website itself at www.projectgreenlight.org, and there is an E at the end of green. I know sometimes people leave that off. But if you actually go to the website, you can do a selection if you want to do like a monthly donation, $30 a month, automatic, goes straight to them. And trust me, they will use it for such a wonderful cause. Or you can do a one-time donation, or you can just contact, us, me, Jessica, anybody in the community here, anybody who knows PGL, and say, I just want to help, or I want to donate, I want to drop something off. So those are your 3 best ways to do it.
I love it. And thank you all for, keeping that legacy of our founder, the late Roy Green. That was something very dear to his heart. Project Green Light. He always wanted the spotlight on it. And so thank you all. And the community, for you donating and being a blessing. You have changed lives, transformed lives more than you realize. Stay tuned. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about some more great events coming up with all of these community organizations happening right here in your local community. You're watching it here on Beam TV.
Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Belinda Strickland and I'm here today representing Project Greenlight. And what I'd like to talk to you about today is one of the biggest upcoming events that we have here in October. It's going to be October the 27th, and it is going to be a pheasant shoot that is in honor of Steve Abbott. So it begins on October the 22nd at 7 a.m. in the morning, which you could show up to do breakfast. And we're going to have biscuits and coffee, and then the actual event begins with a first hunt at 8 a.m. in the morning. It'll probably run till about 11. Actually, we'll be doing the lunch held inside of the Grand Reserve and Lodges Pavilion, and it'll be catered in. It'll be multi-meats, a very wonderful, great tasting buffet. And then the second hunt will take off at 1 o'clock. It'll go until it ends, which is probably around 3:30 in the afternoon. Afterwards, at the end of the day, we're going to have hors d'oeuvres and a social hour for those who want to attend. And some really neat things that are going to happen while you're there at the actual shoot is we're going to be raffling off a charbroil grill to one lucky winner. And then also during the 2 separate hunts, the morning and the afternoon, we're going to have something called the Money Bird. And with the Money Bird gives you another opportunity to walk away with a grand prize yourself. Now, all of the money, all the proceeds from this event is going towards Project Greenlight and the foster care families that are being supported under Mr. Green's PGL. We would really love it if every one of you could attend, or if at all, if you could just sponsor a sign. Please contact me at 480-387-1119 or my email address, belindamstrickland@gmail.com. Thank you so very much and would love to see you out there.
Our organization originated in the late 1980s. It started with Miss Cora Reed Green and her son, George Green. And while our name has changed, our mission to serve and love foster children has been timeless. Some of the services that we provide include a visitation center. And it is a place where the foster children can come and visit with their biological parents. And it's an environment that is safe and loving, and it's a place where people can come together and learn how to be a family again. So they can prepare a meal for their children in the kitchen, they can read with them in the reading nook, they can paint and color with them, or teach the children how to play pretend in the playroom. So one story that has stayed on my heart and will always be on my heart is with the visitation center. There was a 2 little girls coloring, and I could tell by their intimacy and by the comfort they brought one another that they were sisters. But as I was watching them, I was under the impression that the older girl, probably about 12 years old, raised her sister and was probably more of a parent to her than a sister. A couple minutes later, I heard the front door bang open and tiny feet come racing down the hall, and a 3-year-old child was so excited to see her siblings, and the older sister picked her sister up as a mother would pick up and embrace a child. And so I realized at that time that I would do whatever I had to do, and our organization would do whatever we had to do to make sure that these doors stayed open so that these children would have the opportunity to love one another no matter what. Another program that is very near and dear to our hearts is the Birthday Cake Club. Because unfortunately we've learned that most of the children who come into foster care, their first birthday experience is in foster care. And one of the reasons that this became a huge priority for our organization is a story that we were told by a foster parent who had 10 children in her home. So the boy receives his birthday cake, and all of his foster siblings are standing around, they're singing happy birthday, the kitchen is packed full, and he's looking down over his cake, and she realizes that he's crying. He said, "I've never had a birthday before." And when I learned of this story and the response that a child who has been removed from his home and removed from his siblings and doesn't cry, but is crying over the fact that he feels loved for the first time in a really long time, it made me realize that not everyone is called to be a foster parent, but everybody can help in some way. And so for us, we're providing birthday cakes. So everyone wants to help the little ones. We want to give them clothes and diapers, but what about these older ones that are getting ready to step out and age out and they have no one to help? They have no support. So we're creating a scholarship program where every child who graduates from high school in our local area is going to receive a scholarship that they can use towards their education. They can use it for dorm needs, they can use it for apartment needs. We'll provide them with financial planning and mentorship, and we've partnered with the local universities and college so that they know that while they might be not in the foster care system and have the support that they had before, there are still people that care about them and that want them to do well and that want them to be a part of society that is contributing and that is building. We want to help them break that cycle of poverty, and we want to help them learn that they deserve better. They deserve the very best. To those of you who have helped us get to where we are today, thank you from the bottom of our heart. But for those of you who feel inspired to serve the foster care community and to love on these children, there are other ways that you can help as well. You can provide with a monthly donation. You can provide with a one-time donation. You can give a foster child a birthday cake for the first time. The mission of Project Greenlight is to serve the foster child and the foster family. The need is great and never-ending, but we can't do it alone. We need your help.
Welcome back to Street Talk. And of course, our special guest is Dr. Belinda Strickland. And again, we will forever have immense gratitude for the founder of Beam TV, the late Roy Greens. What a beautiful tribute to him.
Well, you know, and to continue on with another project that we do have going on with Project Greenlight, is we're actually presenting the Steve Abbott Pheasant Shoot. We're going to have 2 hunts, and it's actually coming up on October the 22nd. It's a very exciting time.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you. So what happens is that we've got it set up for right now, October the 22nd. Now, if it does rain, we're going to move it to October the 29th. And it's going to be out at the Grand Preserve. And this is owned and ran by Deb and Steve Huckabee.
Okay.
And kind of how this shoot works, it's very exciting. So we have 15 stands set up and 2 shooters per stand. And we've got a huge tower in the middle. And then they let out, you know, up to 200 birds. They'll do 20 per time. And each person at the stand will have a chance, opportunity to shoot the bird. Okay, so for hunters or not hunters, it's still a charitable event. Mm-hmm. But how it happens is that each hunter will end up paying $275 to enter, or a team can do it for $550. And all the donations are going to go straight back to Project Greenlight. We're going to have a lot of activities during that day. They're going to have, first when you show up in the morning, they're providing us with a great little breakfast, sausage, biscuits, coffee, all the stuff. They're going to get you out on the hunt by, 8 in the morning, come back in for a fabulous buffet line served lunch.
Wow.
It is so good. You get a choice of 2 major meats, lots of vegetables, your sides, your drinks, under the pavilion at the clubhouse. And then they'll have a second hunt that goes out in the afternoon, and it'll start at 1, probably around 3:30 or so. And at the end of the day, there's going to be a bunch of hors d'oeuvres. Now, the 2 other neat things that are happening is that while you're there, we're going to be auctioning off a big charbroil grill.
Okay.
And so everybody can participate, buy a ticket to do that, and have a chance to win the grill, take it home with them then. And then the other thing is we have called the Money Bird. And both of the hunts, one in the morning and one in the afternoon, will do it. And there'll be one bird that is let out. He's going to have a long red ribbon tied onto him. And whoever gets that bird is going to end up getting the prize money. And what happens is that each shooter will end up just donating $10. And so you'll have a possibility of getting up to $300 per hunt if you get the bird with the red ribbon. So it's actually really exciting.
Wow.
And I mean, there's a lot of activity and people are driving around on side-by-sides and talking to each other. It's a very large social event. And of course, the food is always wonderful out there at the Grand Preserve.
So you have someone catering food for this event?
Yes, they do. They bring it in, and it's actually, honestly, it's fabulous. And you will not go away hungry. There's so much food. And another thing that's interesting is that at the end of your hunt, you'll actually be able to receive cleaned, bagged pheasant breasts. So for those of you who might want to eat pheasant or try the pheasant that you shoot, there is somebody actually on site that is bringing the birds in, and they are cleaning them, and they are separating them and putting them in sealed packages so that when you leave from the hunt, you get to take it with you. But the interesting thing about all of this and all the money that we'll be making at this event, it all goes back to Project Greenlight.
Wow.
So it's such a wonderful cause, and it's such a fun day. And we also have sponsorships.
Cool. Okay. Because I'm pretty sure we have a lot of, hunters out here in our Tri-City community and a lot of supporters as well. And they would like to be a part as well. So tell us about sponsorship.
Well, in case you can't actually make it to the hunt itself, then you can actually sponsor a sign. We're going to put up 3 signs per stand. And we're going to actually have those done by Fred Williams. He is actually donating the signs himself at no cost. And they're about an 18 by 24 size sign, like the ones that say house for sale with the little metal forks that stick in the ground. Well, he's going to make those for you, and your bottom level is for $100. You get your name on the sign. And then you can actually contact our organization, and you can speak to them about getting different levels if you want to add more information about your company on them. But the signs will stay up all day through both hunts. And again, it's more money that comes directly back to PGL. And we're doing a little advertising for you guys. So
Awesome.
hopefully, at least one way or the other, you'll become a part of the pheasant shoot in honor of Steve Abbott.
I love that. And Steve Abbott, if you've been following Being TV, he was one of our very own as well. We dearly miss him as well. And this was what he loved.
It is.
This was one of his events every year, and that he just loved to be a part of something like this. And we dearly miss him as well. So I love the fact that you all are honoring him also in his work and service to the community. So this is going to be October 22nd.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Time.
It's going to start, your breakfast starts at 7 in the morning. So it's pretty much an all-day event, but when you register or decide which hunt you want to do, then you just contact me, because you'll have a morning hunt that actually is from a late 8 to 11, and then the afternoon hunt that's going to be from like 1 to 3:30.
Okay.
And so you'll be able to contact me either on my cell at 480-387-1119. You could call me, text me. You can even email me at BelindaMStrickland@gmail.com. That way I can get tickets out to you, and I can also end up giving you more information. And then I can also push you out towards the sponsorship side, which will also go back to Jessica Taylor.
Absolutely.
They're handling the sponsorship side. So,
And location again?
and the location is actually at the Grand Reserve and Lodge, and that's at 3945 Uchee Hill Highway here in Phoenix City.
Awesome. And For tickets, again, how can people, they can contact the number that you provided?
Yes.
Email to get your tickets.
Yep.
Awesome. And again, sponsorship is welcome. They are welcome. Also, I want to ask you about, because I saw something about St. John AMEC of Hurtsboro. All right, tell us what's going to be happening there.
Okay.
You all got a lot going on.
We have a lot going on. Absolutely. Got our fingers in all kinds of different groups that everybody needs help. And honestly, if we feel or see a need of somebody who needs some kind of support, repair work, or just a donation, then we're going to jump up on them. And this was a great opportunity. So thank you for letting me bring them up.
I mean, that's what this is about. Connecting our community.
Exactly.
And showcasing the things that are happening in our community, because we have some good things, good news taking place right here. I love it.
We do. And honestly, it was kind of interesting because it was actually a good friend of mine that had gotten me in contact with Harriet Tolbert. And after sitting down and speaking with her, she decided to invite me to her church. And that's how I became a part of the AMEC. And Pastor Andrea Johnson is the one who does the sermons every Sunday morning. We do them at 11 o'clock. And the reason why I'm talking about them today is that we're in need. So right now we're doing all of our services over the telephone, which is convenient because of COVID. But at some point in time, we'd like to get back into the actual church facility itself. Well, due to the fact that they've had a lot of water damage and other issues, it's in bad repairs. And so we've got another fundraiser that we're putting together so that we can get money together so that we can try to fix the facility and get back into the church itself to get that face-to-face, one-on-one congregation going again. So anyway, so I can tell you about that fundraiser, but I want to, if that's okay, mention that if anybody wants to listen in on the sermon, they could dial in on the phone number of 604-472-5625, and then when you come into the conference room, just punch in the code 557369. And Pastor Johnson, she's amazing. She is going to get you up and in the air. She's going to get you feeling and moving, and you're going to be amen, and it's just wonderful because she's just very motivational. She grabs very deep into your soul and connects you close. Like I told her, I said, you've connected me to God.
Praise God.
And just the more we're connected, the closer we are, the stronger we feel.
Yes.
And she's doing it, and I'm so impressed with the AMEC in St. John's over in Hurtsboro.
Wow, I love it.
And one last little thing, so the little fundraiser, we're actually in the works of putting together right now. This is more of myself and my husband, Jimmy Strickland. This was his kind of idea that he wanted to come up with. And so he's actually in the talks right now with Northside Pawn, which is right up here on 280. They're owned by Money Miser. And they are going to do a 31 guns for 30. And it's going to end up, it's more like a raffle where you pay $25 a ticket, and then all the tickets get put in the pot. And then you'll end up every day, they'll pull up a ticket starting in December the 1st to the end of the month. They'll pull a ticket. And whoever has the winning ticket gets a gun. They can, and you're like, well, this is Alabama, this is the Southeast. Everybody likes guns, so you could use it, keep it, practice with it, or get rid of it. Mm-hmm. But the point is all that money that's going to be collected from this, after it pays for the actual initial output for buying the guns, will then go directly to the AMEC church.
Oh, wow.
So it was just another idea, something different.
Yes. Well, I love the fact how you, a community leader, you're a great spokesperson too for all of the organizations. How you're in the heart of the community and you about doing what you can do. See, that's the key. We all can do something. We may not can do it all, but what can you do? I love it how you getting out there and you doing it. That's what getting in the trenches of the community looks like, and that's what you're displaying. I love it, love it. And for those of you that are watching, if you want to bless to help this ministry to get back in full force, by all means, the doors are open.
Please, they certainly are.
The doors are open. That's what we do as a community. And I believe that's what we all have been commissioned to do. Do our part. Do what we can. Help our brothers and our sisters. Lift them up when they need it. And that's what you're doing. And I appreciate you sharing that with the community. Now, how do you do all of this, Dr. Strickland?
Lots and lots of energy.
How do you do all of this?
It's definitely, it's something that you just got to feel when you wake up in the morning. You want to get up and go and do something good, so that every night when you go to bed, you can go to bed in peace, knowing I did the right thing today. And it's something about that connection of doing something for others and being a part of the people around me, and actually serving, God, and then serving the community and the local businesses, and just trying to bring us closer makes me feel stronger in the heart.
Yes.
So somehow I'm blessed with a lot of energy, and you see how fast I talk, that's how fast I move, and so I'm always involved in so many different things, and I could just see I'm going to keep striving to go further and further and do more for Russell County. This is my home.
We can see you doing greater things.
Thank you.
Because the community is very deep within your soul. It's obvious. And I've had an opportunity to talk with you off air. There is so much more you want to do.
Thank you.
So we thank you for what you are doing and for the greater you will do. So let's give everyone a contact number, and email address as we get ready to close out, because we want to make sure they have some type of form of contact, and we'll also provide it on the screen as well.
All right, please, again, you can call or text me at 480-387-1119. And it's funny because a lot of times people see that 480, it's an Arizona number, and they're like, oh, is this a telemarketer? I'm like, no, it's in Arizona. I'm prior military, 20 years, and I kept a number from one of the places I was at. So again, 480-387-1119, and my email address is Belinda, Belinda, Strickland @gmail.com, and I look forward to hearing from anyone and everyone, and I'm available 24/7. Just reach out to me.
And she's available if you need her. Thank you. I call you a champion in the community, because that's what you are. And I appreciate you for sharing your heart with the community.
And thank you. I feel the same about you and about this show, because you do so much also for the community. And if we didn't have you, there wouldn't be an outlet for so many needed things. So thank you. We're blessed.
And that's where it is my reasonable service, I say, to do my part. This is my part. So thank you. Well, you've heard it. Please support them with all the wonderful, great events and fundraisers that are taking place in the community. Again, when we help one and help others, we help ourselves as well. You're in the picture more than you realize. You've been watching here is Street Talk on Beam TV.